Oh, look, it's right here.
I know. I told you, it's right off the highway, like literally. It's a cool little park. We're staying here for 2 nights, and then we're heading back home. We're not far from home anyway, about 40 miles. Blanco State Park. When I say this is a little park, I mean it. As far as Texas state parks go, this is pretty tiny. At 105 acres, this park rests along a 1-mile stretch of the Blanco River, which is considered to be one of Texas's most beautiful natural resources. What it lacks in size, however, it makes up for in sheer liveliness. This place gets a ton of day-use visitors that want to come and just enjoy the clear water of the Blanco River. Fishing, swimming, picnicking. CCC Company 854 constructed this park from June of 1933 to May of 34. 2 stone dams were built along this stretch of river to allow for the building of picnic areas, support structures, facilities, a pavilion, and of course, all this is done with the natural landscape of oaks, cedars, and cypress trees in mind. There's an abundance of ways to spend your time here. We're in Blanco, Texas. If you're traveling up or down Highway 281, you'll pass through it in about 45 seconds. But if you stop and take a gander, you'll find a very neat little town with a population of about 1,900 and an assortment of shops, restaurants, and a historic courthouse. A lot of different places you can visit here. Most importantly though, above everything I just mentioned, you'll be able to visit an institution which has been providing joy and happiness for children and adults alike since 1940. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but the initials of this little slice of heaven are D and Q. And all of this is within walking distance of this park. That's something you don't see often. We've booked site number 25. Let's get Janie Marie backed in. I want to get out and look at the campsite real quick. Okay, why don't you go over there and we'll talk through the walkie-talkies and I'll let you know what I want to do. You got it turned on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now if over by the table, there's a gap. You see those? Hello?
I didn't hear it. You didn't say anything.
Right over there, there's a gap in those barrier things.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I want the door to be.
Okay.
Okay? All right, I'm gonna start backing up now.
Okay. Hey, I just saw a red bird.
How am I looking?
I think you're looking pretty good, I think. You haven't really moved much.
Does it look like I'm on a straight path to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to pull up a little bit. I think if you continue the way you are, I think where the ladder's at is gonna probably be closer to the same as this 25. You know what I wish? I wish it wasn't as heavy and I would be able to pull it from one side to the other.
How's it looking?
Okay, good, Corey, good. of it, I think.
Oh,
Do you want me to tell the people to keep on going?
yeah, I'm gonna be here a while.
Looks like the coast is clear. Oh, I think you have a man that's going to give you some pointers.
When you're trying to back in on this side, get as close to the road on edge of the road on this side.
Okay.
And that way when you're backing up,
I have plenty of room out
you
here.
have plenty of room to swing your truck.
Okay.
And I know you've probably done this a million times.
Not really.
It'll give you more room for your truck to be out there.
I'll circle back around.
Okay.
He gave me some advice. Welcome to Blanco State Park. We're inside 25. This is a nice, I don't think actually that I have ever, since we started this whole thing, I don't think that I have been in a site that is as level as this one. Totally level. We're not dipped too far in the front like we were at Bisher. Side to side is perfect. Yes, it was a little bit of a challenge to back into just because of these concrete barriers. It's okay. Everything actually worked out. Something also worth mentioning is this site, this loop. They have the outer sites and they have the inner sites. All the inner sites are full hookup. The outer sites are water and electric. 15, 30, and water. Now, the ones on the inner loop, we've got the full hookups here. So I'm trying out this King Omni Go antenna. I'm trying it out. I can move it too. It came with a magnetic mount as well as this tripod here. What I would really like to do is find a way to mount it up on the roof, but there is nothing metal up there. We have the lights up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have them turned on or not. It just depends. I don't like to put lights out if there are other campsites all around that might not like it, might not appreciate it. They're not that bright, but still, I want to be respectful. I would want the same. You just bought this fan from Home Depot. It is a game changer. This is on the low setting and you can feel it almost all the way to the truck. This outdoor rug, this chair, it's a very heavy duty, comfy chair. And this chair, as well as this little bitty table here. These are Temu items. I recently discovered Temu and I think I'm going to be broke pretty soon. Blanco State Park is not what I would call a very secluded and private state park. The campsites are out in the open. If you're coming here to look for seclusion and tranquility and quiet, might not be the park for you. However, that's not always a bad thing. I kind of like to be out in the community. We enjoy meeting new people that have the same interest as we have. And it's nice. I think it's also worth mentioning, this is going to be a no-cook weekend. A no-cook weekend. We just got here today at about 2:30 in the afternoon. After I set up, we went over to, you guessed it, Dairy Queen, which has been somewhat of a tradition for us now. We arrive, we're pretty sure there's going to be a Dairy Queen nearby, and we go. I might try to get some fishing done in the morning. I don't think I'll catch anything, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. I could easily tell you that due to the size of this park, I didn't quite get the footage I've gotten at the previous parks we've visited, but if I'm being honest, I was just as lazy as all get out this weekend, man. And I'm kind of good with that. What I was really looking forward to was meeting a fellow YouTuber. In my Blanco State Park video, I mentioned camping Texan. More than once, actually. Well, by sheer coincidence, we both had reservations booked here this weekend. Just a couple of campsites apart from one another. We figured this out about a couple of months before this trip through emails and YouTube comments, and I've been looking forward to it since. Camping Texan and Switchback Texan. Watch out, Blanco. Of course, I'm just kidding. We're not putting out a video or anything. We're just gonna hang for a little bit and chew the fat. And I'm pretty excited about it. You know what else I'm excited about? Not really messing with the camera too much while we're here. Like I said, lazy weekend. There are two very small camping loops here, and the bathhouse is right in the center. These bathrooms are better ventilated than the previous couple of parks we've been to, but considerably smaller. When checking in, you're given an access code to be able to enter the shower portion of the bathrooms. I'm not sure why that is. Also, right between the two camping loops is the dump station. It's lighted with one dump outlet. This is something we weren't going to have to deal with since our site had full hookups anyway. And also in this same general area, they have a firewood station. It's located right here next to the park host site. But since we're still in the cauldron of Texas summertime heat, I'm sure that right now, the firewood business isn't what you would call a boom-in. Like I mentioned before, these are very small little camping loops, completely walkable. And because of the open layout of all these sites, by the time you're done walking these loops, you'll have met at least 25 people. Maybe even as many as 817. This is great. I haven't seen a bad site here. Each one looks to be very level, covered picnic tables. There's not many sites here that are not shaded, and once again, the camaraderie of what feels like a neighborhood block is a warm, cozy, and welcoming site. Bravo, CCC, and Texas Parks and Wildlife. What a beautiful morning. I said I would get up early and go fishing. Well, it's like 10 o'clock. I'm not doing it. Maybe next time. On these shorter trips like this is a quick weekend trip. On our lengthier trips, I'll do more fishing. This is one of the oldest state parks in Texas. And as part of the CCC vision, once again, a pavilion was constructed, using local limestone and hewn timbers for roof bracing. With these stone walls and chimneys, the design was intended to echo the region's German heritage. But back then, they did something else. I touched on this a little bit in my Goose Island State Park video. These pavilions have always served as concessions mainly, but back in the day, when construction was underway at these parks, dances were held on Saturday nights. All the locals were invited, and what started with a simple idea in a jukebox also kick-started a Texas tradition. All this began at Garner State Park, and word quickly spread. 4 state parks still hold these dances: Garner, Dangerfield, Meridian, and Abilene. Here, at Blanco, this pavilion, as with all state park pavilions, can be reserved for events and parties. In fact, I was lucky to get this footage. It was being used almost the entire time we were here. Now tell me, what's not to love about that? A park this close to home has a certain comfort to it, yet it still feels far away. We're 40 miles from home, which means we're 40 miles from the nearest Bath & Body Works, Macy's, Nordstrom, Ulta, Kohl's, JCPenney's. But fear not, where there's a will, there's a way. Welcome to the great outdoors, Mrs. Switchback style. So before I even realized it, I'd spent almost 4 hours shooting the breeze with Campin' Texan. And it was great. Thanks, Chris. I enjoyed getting to know you, and until we meet again, happy trails, brother. This is the other area of the park. Remember, there's about a mile of river access here. The camping loops sit right in the middle. There are screen shelters in this park, but all of them were in use. I'm not going to be able to give you a little tour of one of the screen shelters like I did at Bisher. The area we're seeing here is strictly day use, and it gets packed during the day, particularly on weekends. By the way, if you frequent Texas state parks, do yourself a favor and get a state park pass. When we got ours in February, it was $70 for the year, and it paid for itself within our first 2 trips. These passes will get you discounts on your stays here, merchandise, and free entry into any state park here in Texas if you happen to be around one and want to check it out. One pass will take care of you and your family, provided you're all in the same vehicle, of course. We were getting a little hungry, and for those of you that have seen my previous videos, you know we tend to do that. Since we went to Dairy Queen yesterday evening, I thought it would be nice to try something different today. Of course, by different, I mean getting a 4-piece steak finger basket instead of the 6-piece. I'm telling you, I can't remember the last time, if ever, I've been to the Dairy Queen that's 3 miles from where we live. But put us in small town Texas and it's like we're under some sort of trance. Oh well. This is the Pump House Trail, 0.2 miles. Early Saturday evening. It is approximately 972 degrees outside. Wow. Now, the Friends of Blanco State Park is a voluntary committee with one thing in mind: keep this park beautiful. And let me tell you something, the bird viewing building here is a sight to behold. This is their handiwork. With the rustic barn look on the outside, one would most likely presume that it may just be one of your typical wildlife viewing structures that you may come across in one of many state parks. Not the case here. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at here is what appears to be the very first box seats to the Bird Olympics. This is absolutely splendid. I could spend an entire day sitting in here. The only thing that's missing is a concession stand that sells hot dogs and those really big pickles. Once again, bravo, Blanco State Park. Back to the trail. Good morning. We are at Birch Creek State Park, right on Lake Somerville. This is leg 1 of our Southeast Texas travel trailer tour. We're going to 3 state parks. We're starting with this one. We're moving on to Martin Dies Jr. State Park next. Really looking forward to that one. Really looking forward to that one. We're going to be there for 4 nights. And then we're going to round everything off at Stephen F. Austin State Park. But I appreciate you watching my Blanco State Park video. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate all your time that you gave me. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. Hope to see you again soon. If you are enjoying the videos that I'm putting out and you like them, hit the little like button here. If you want to be notified of my upcoming videos, hit the little notification bell right here. And again, I thank you all for watching. Until next time, Switchback Texan is out.